Are EV ranges reliable? In a recent study of 21 EV brands, it was discovered that the vehicle's actual ranges varied by about 12% on average. According to co-author Gregory Pannone of the study, 3 Tesla models performed the worst, falling short of their promised ranges by an average of 26%. Concerns about range and charging are among the main barriers to widespread EV adoption, aside from price. And a recent Reuters investigation claims that Tesla has been inflating the ranges of its electric vehicles, EVs, in order to attract more customers. When owners attempted to bring their allegedly broken-down automobiles in for repair, the corporation formed a whole team tasked with diverting those same clients. According to a person with knowledge of the matter, Tesla has been inflating the range of its vehicles for many years. Around 10 years ago, the business built and deployed algorithms that displayed rosy range forecasts on the dashboard of its vehicles. The algorithm would display a more accurate range when the battery was less than half full. The insider told Reuters that Elon wanted to show good range numbers when fully charged. It makes you feel good when you buy a car off the lot and see a 350 or 400-mile range. Regulators and independent testers have both called attention to Tesla's exaggerated claims about its range, though it's unclear whether the company still uses a similar approach. South Korean officials punished the company earlier this year after discovering that ranges were as little as half of what they claimed. According to Reuters, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, which is in charge of confirming the ranges that automakers advertise, has mandated Tesla to reduce its range estimates by an average of 3% since 2020. Tesla is not the first EV company to advertise a longer range than it actually provides. In a recent study of 21 EV brands, it was discovered that vehicles' actual ranges varied by about 12% on average. According to co-author Gregory Pannone of the study, 3 Tesla models performed the worst, falling short of their promised ranges by an average of 26%. Pannone stated, "I'm not saying they're cheating. They are utilizing the current processes more than the other manufacturers, at least in part." The diversion team that Tesla established in Las Vegas with the sole purpose of canceling as many appointments due to range issues as possible is what makes it special, though. According to Reuters, Tesla's diversion team quietly resolved hundreds of instances each week, with managers assuring the diverters that they were saving the company about $1,000 for each appointment they were able to cancel. According to Reuters, these cars did not require repairs. There was nothing wrong, and Tesla's promotion of an exaggerated driving range gave customers an incorrect impression of how far their vehicles could travel. That experience and the EPA range estimations are comparable. The criteria the EPA uses are incorrect, according to recent research conducted by the Society of Automotive Engineers in collaboration with Car and Driver. They are, in essence, using the incorrect metric to evaluate the range of electric vehicles. The uncorrected fuel economy and range values for electric vehicles can now be multiplied by 0.7 or higher. The correction factor can be lower than 0.7 for ICE-powered vehicles when adjusted for fuel economy increases. Starting in 2016, Car and Driver implemented an on-road highway fuel economy test conducted at 75 miles per hour to complement the performance measures it has been tracking since the 1950s. This was done to better inform consumers. The on-road test findings were in line with the certification data for each vehicle model, including unadjusted and window sticker fuel efficiency and range, road load force coefficients, and labeling options. To assess the discrepancies between the on-road testing and chassis rolls testing carried out during the certification procedure, the tractive energy and kinetic energy accessible for regenerative braking were computed using the certification information. These findings suggest that the highway fuel efficiency label tends to be a very strong predictor of the fuel economy seen in the on-road test with ICE-powered vehicles traveling at real highway speeds. However, the majority of electric vehicles tested to date underperform in terms of both electric consumption and range. Other elements like high temperatures and recommendations from automakers to charge less than 100% to extend battery life further increase the discrepancy between the window label and on-road usage and range for electric vehicles, EVs. So given that this developing technology is continuing to gain popularity in the market, our findings highlight the necessity to reassess the labeling practices for it. The EPA estimates differ from actual experience for a variety of reasons. For starters, the EPA criteria are determined using a model that gives city driving a 55% weighting. The range estimations are inflated as a result, making it more difficult to match actual events. Electric vehicles also benefit from it since they can capture some energy during stop-and-go driving via regenerative braking. Similar to how the estimates for conventional cars are displayed individually, the SAE suggests providing both city and highway range data separately. Second, the EPA test cycle is variable, with the speed rising and falling during the test. In contrast, the car and driver highway range testing technique employs actual automobiles traveling on real roads at a constant 75 miles per hour. The EPA employs a correction factor since lower speeds lead to higher range estimates. But that factor can change as well. The adjustment factor in the typical 2-cycle test method is 0.7. But if manufacturers choose a 5-cycle testing technique, they can benefit from a smaller correction factor, which produces a larger range rating. Due to the two distinct outcomes produced, there is no consistency between the cars produced by various businesses. The 2-cycle test is preferred by German manufacturers because the outcome is more representative of actual performance. The 5-cycle test is preferred by Tesla because it results in better range estimations that appear good on its website. There's a balance, says Vanderwerp. The marketing team wants to highlight a wide range of numbers, but you want to be conservative with customers. The results of range tests conducted by Car and Driver on German electric vehicles are often comparable or somewhat better than those estimations. The results, however, are on average 2 times as far off the window label value as most EVs when the same testing is performed on Tesla vehicles. At actual highway speeds, the stated ranges of a Tesla and a Porsche are 400 miles and 300 miles respectively, according to Vanderwerp. I'm now starting to get why my Model Y doesn't travel as far as anticipated on the highway. In order to produce range estimates that closely match the outcomes of the real-world efficiency test, the report suggests that the EPA move the reduction factor closer to 0.6. But it's also essential that all cars go through the same testing process. Every carmaker could utilize the 5-cycle test aggressively and obtain a better reduction factor, but more customers would be dissatisfied with the results, according to Vanderwerp. They ought to be tested equally, and it ought to be more realistic than it is now. When manufacturers make claims that don't line up with customer expectations, they are playing a risky game. The use of mathematical models by the EPA, which do not adequately reflect real-world performance, constitutes complicity. That's all for today. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Also, express your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. Until then, bye! Also, spend some time watching other videos on the channel.